Good evening! Kumusta po kayong lahat dyan na nanonood at nag-aabang sa atin? We're live again from Clinton Park and from Manurewa. I'm Juvie of Grow Yourself, and we have...
Mary Ann Honrubia of Ray White Manukau. Hi, guys. I'm
And
back.
this is our 16th episode of New Zealand First Home Buyers Guide and Insight. I'm happy that you're back again and you're well and good. Pinag-usapan nga natin kanina, right? That COVID is still
Starting
around.
to, yeah.
But
And I think it's gonna be back more now that you're a teacher. So now that everyone's back to school.
It's gonna spread more.
Yeah.
Five people so far that I've known in our school has been infected by COVID. So hopefully, hindi mo na ako ma-infect because it's really nasty. Last time, 2021, I think, when I got infected. Oh, that was horrible.
Oh, it's
Right?
really bad. Like
Did you
even me, but
Did you take any medicine? Any medication? No.
no. You know what's really weird ate though is that so my son had COVID first day po, he was really bad. And then second day he was good. And then it's as if nothing happened. So but then he's still positive. But me as the older person, it took me a while to get over and I lost my voice and then I can't even breathe because I lost my taste because I have blocked nose. So pretty much you can't really taste anything. So it's
Yes.
more worse to me than the kids. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think the kids are more flexible and tougher than the adults, or maybe because you are overweight.
Yeah,
Baka na
I think so. And I'm like, maybe I'm also dehydrated. You know how I drink coffee too much.
Oh no. What I've heard is that when you drink 1 cup of coffee, you have to drink at least 5 cups of water.
Yeah, of water. Although in fairness, nakalimutan ko. In fairness to me, ate, I can finish like, you know, the bottle that I bought from the Philippines is like a 2-liter bottle. You know, the
Wow.
thermal, you know? I can finish 3 of that. Yeah, so it's like 6
Wow,
like
how good are you? Oh, that's good then. So at least now you're fully recovered, and we're back to our discussion, which is very important because a friend of mine, one of the teachers in our group chat, mentioned about insurance. Right?
yes.
It's very important here in New Zealand. In the Philippines, not so much, but here we're gonna highlight the importance of it. Mayroon ka bang insurance? Oh, yeah.
Yes. So I think, ate, you know, back in the Philippines, as what you've mentioned, I never knew the importance of insurance. I remember my bosses, Sir Jason and Sir, oh my gosh, I forgot. I'm so sorry, sir. I forgot your name. But anyway, they always tell me na, ikaw, habang bata ka pa, you have to invest in an insurance instead of buying your perfumes because I love collecting perfumes. And then, sabi nila, you have to learn the importance of insurance. But then back in the Philippines, the only thing is the trust that we have to insurance provider was lost because of all those insurances before, di ba po, na parang na bankrupt. I remember my mama was really, really heartbroken when platinum plans were, like
I've,
bankrupt.
yes,
Remember
I've heard.
that?
Sa Pinas, ang pinakasikat nun, I think, is Sun Life. I used to have
Oh,
that
yes.
before, but when I went back home in August, I cut it off. Parang I'm already living here and I'm paying here. Why do I need to have another one? Because that kind of education, I think, or life plan,
Yeah.
part dun na insurance na binabayaran mo that will be deducted from your premium. In other words,
Yes.
yeah, I just stopped it.
I think what all our kababayans ate should know. So this is what happened to me. So I don't have a home at the moment. I live with my in-laws. But insurance that I have po ate is life insurance and a bankruptcy insurance. And this is what's really important
Oh,
ate.
haven't heard of
Yeah,
that.
so I have a bill cover insurance. I think they changed it right now. It's not bill cover, but for new kababayans right now that is listening to us ate, I never knew how really lifesaver bill cover is because up until I lost my job. So there's a bill cover at it that will cover you at least 80% of how much you were earning when you lose your job. So I lost my job when we shut down, our company shut down, and then they helped me through at least almost a year. I think I was receiving 80% of how much I'm getting paid.
Wow, that's for a year or for how long?
Almost, I think it's like more than 6 months I was covered. So I started my bill cover insurance when I came here. I didn't even know what I'm paying for because you know how when you're new here, ate, like like you're a student, they're like, oh, you should buy this insurance, like that's
Yes,
that. And I was
easily
like,
persuaded.
okay. Yeah, and then I bought it. And during that time I was paying like $5 a week, ate. $5 a week. And that
For
was like
bankruptcy
2013.
insurance. Is that right? For
Yes, for my
bankruptcy
bill
insurance,
cover.
$5 a week. Not bad. Parang
Yes.
kape mo lang eh. It's like
Yes. And I
out of
was a
your
student that
starting
time,
pay.
ate. I never even felt it because I have a job and it just like automatically deducts on my weekly
Yeah.
pay. And then I was like, okay. And then, but then come 2018, one above New Zealand, where when I was working as a salesperson, I lost my job because we had to liquefy, like liquidate our company. So I lost my
Mhm.
job. I remembered, oh, wait a minute, I have a bill cover insurance. What does that mean? Because I never knew what was that up until they were like, oh, we actually can cover your costs, like your
Yeah.
expenses
Lucky
because you
you
got
have this
a
bill
job.
cover. But I think I've overheard this as well from, I'm not sure if that was life insurance. When you
Mm,
get this insurance, there are certain features that you can pay for.
yes,
I
yes,
think at the moment for
that's
me and
included.
for my husband, we only took the basic one. So we are paying now it's around $14, I think, fortnightly, if I'm not.
Oh,
Yeah, for the
it's a good
basic life.
price. Yes, yes.
So with
So
the
that kind of
ANZ,
covers max of how much po?
I forgot. Because that was like signed up in 2020. When we bought this house, we were greatly encouraged to get this life insurance. Just in case we lose our job. Yes, I remember that one. So it was
Yes,
part of it, bill cover. I think that was just basically, or if something happened to us, like
yes.
so itong insurance is up. It's different from ACC, right? We don't pay ACC, do we?
It's different from ACC. It kind of is included to how much taxes we're paying. Because as a sole
All right, I think you're. Yeah, I'm losing you.
are we
It's
back?
probably the
Is
internet
it my internet that's going bad?
again. Yes,
Where
it's probably the internet
are
connection
you
because you
at?
are. You're definitely just using your mobile data. It's quite tricky. But
Huh. Why is our internet?
yeah, while waiting for Marianne to join us back again, she's probably just sorting out her technical. I hope everything's still going well with me. If you can hear me well, please flick me a message or leave a comment down below if everything is fine. Definitely, Marianne will be joining us shortly. Just a little bit of fixing, troubleshooting. Right, we're talking about insurance in this episode, but probably basic ones because it's too many to cover. But we've already invited experts to talk more about that next time. For now, we'll give you the our real life experiences, like for the insurance when we move here. Because I don't know, my husband is not really a believer of insurance. Is like. Hope it goes well. And so far, it went well until we have availed this insurances. We were greatly encouraged because we already have mortgage, and so it's best to some kind of protection for us in case in case there will be something untoward will happen to any of us. We lose jobs or the company will shut down. You cannot really tell. And aside from that life insurance, there are more covers anyway. I mean, what do you call that one? Can be covered with the life insurance. I'll welcome Marianne once again. How are
I
you?
think it's my internet. I think it's my internet, Ate. I was like messing up. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's so good. So I've just mentioned them that we've just started with the life insurance, but of course
Mm,
there are many other insurances that we are. Uh,
yeah, that we can get. And I think life insurance is very important, as what you've said, Ate. If something happens, especially when you're buying a house. So if something happens, there, of course, there's another insurance Ate, that what's this that you have to specifically get when you have, like, the content insurance, which is like if you get robbed.
yes,
Um,
even not necessarily rob, but if you damage your things or
yeah,
something,
yes, yes.
I've
When
experienced
it's
that as
like
well.
natural disasters.
Disasters. So last time I broke my phone because it was just an accident. So the screen cracked, and
Mm,
I requested for what do you call this? Claim. I claimed for an insurance because it's covered. So even if it's my phone, and even outside the house, outside the property, so long as you claim it as your property, so
mm,
that's in the content insurance, and I was
yeah,
able to claim for
claim or
that one.
something.
Yeah. So we now have life insurance, home insurance that's
Mm,
in case it happens to the property, and
yeah.
content insurance that's just for the contents like the furnitures, the clothing, the jewelries, or whatever.
Mm.
And
I
of course,
think
the car insurance, basic.
yes, and then of course we should not never forget about health insurance as well, which is because at
Oh, yeah.
least at least it can cover you if you aside from ACC, we are very lucky that New Zealand has the ACC, so you can kind of get at least something from the government. It's just the ACC. It's just which is
Mm,
really good because it's part of the taxes that we pay in the government as well. But when
yeah.
as before I got cut off at before, so if you're a sole trader, we pay for our own ACC.
ACC. How much?
Yeah. So I think it's around $200 an annum.
Oh, okay. I thought it's per
I
month.
think
It's
so.
too much.
Opo, parang 200 an annum.
Okay, not bad. Yeah, I
Yeah, it's
mean,
not too bad.
but as a sole trader and you don't have consistent income, you really have to set aside that amount just to
Yes.
cover but for your protection. ACC, I
Yeah.
think, is for accidents, right?
Yes, for accidents because I remember ate, I think I'm just not sure. I think we should be asking for an expert about this. But I remember because sometimes it is from our employer, so that's the reason why right now that I'm a sole trader, then I pay for my own. But I remember when I was under a company, I remember they received an invoice from ACC that because I hurt my back while I'm working,
Yeah.
so it was under, so it was my company, our boss actually received that and they approved of it, so I think it was the company who was paying for it.
Or maybe it's kind of work related injuries
Mm,
that you
mm,
for ACC.
I think
And
so, yeah.
because other people might get mixed up with, we have ACC anyway. So what is the medical insurance for? For me, I've also
Mm,
availed this medical insurance. I'm paying it every fortnight, around $25 for the three of us, because I
it's good.
cannot cover my son anymore because he's already at his right age. So he needs to, what do you call it? Subscribe. What do you call that
On
one?
his own.
Yeah, he has to be on his own already. But previously, he was
Yeah,
covered for $5
like a
fortnight. That was
dependent.
already a good deal for four of us. So the things that I was able to claim was 50% for dentures,
Yeah,
not the
some of
fancy
the
ones.
specialists as well at there, right? So
Yeah,
it
even
has
for
a
the
deduction to
eyes.
specialists, yeah.
Any physiotherapy, is that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah,
Chiropractor, husband was able to
yeah,
avail that as well, 50%. So that's
yes,
the good thing because I don't think that can be covered by ACC if it's not work related.
yes. Especially ate, if it's like what I've mentioned, it's a specialist because I remember Steven, so my husband, when we had to go to a cardiologist. So of course to check something, that one cost like $300. If you don't have insurance, then you will have to pay the whole $300,
Yeah.
but because it's got the insurance, then pretty much you only pay a couple of dollars because it's
Oh, that's
included
good.
with the insurance. Yeah, which is really good. And that's the reason why I think all our kababayans po na who just came, and they work and work, they don't really know what's happening, and then they just keep on saving money. I think it's worth having those insurances, because at least whatever happens, you'll have something to give to your family. If like at the
Yeah.
end of the day, like life insurance, ate, is the most important thing, because especially for our kababayans who is working alone here, tapos iniwan nila yung family nila sa
Mm.
Pilipinas, and then something happens, like knock on wood na yun po yung mga nangyari, and then and then at least something can help the family back home.
Yeah, but oh, if anyone out there has an experience on this claim for life insurance, I know it's quite sad, but it would be nice to hear from you guys and share it with us live so
Mm,
that we can help make other people aware as well as to what you can claim or what's the benefits of it. What has it brought you and your family? As was this beneficial
mm,
or and yeah, flick us a message or send us a comment here or flick us a message wherever you are. If you're watching right now, let us know where you're
yeah,
watching from and let us know what your thoughts on this insurance. If you're still weighing up things, so you're into it,
yay.
and your experiences, right?
And
And
okay, yes, ate.
yeah,
And then okay, right before you went on live, I was just sharing it to you, ate, right? So in connection with, of course, our main ano po, 'di ba? Main purpose of this podcast that we do, we buy houses. So if our kababayans are buying houses, and that's the reason why, and insurance is really really important, kasi po when you're buying a house, you'll have to have an important part of your journey is to have someone with you that you can trust, which is a buyer's agent po. And that buyer agent can help you at least investigate about the property that you have fallen in love with. So like let's say you bought a house, oh you wanting to put an offer to a property, ate, and that's the reason why I remember, ate, when I first went to your house, diba? Parang yun yung mga questions ko and everything. So houses that are actually, let's say, existing house, especially the older houses, there are houses that doesn't have consent. So like let's say extra toilet, or a kitchen outside, or a covered, so once you cover a deck, ate, you'll need consent on that. So
huh,
if it
okay.
doesn't get consented, then it won't be insured, and then the bank won't ano po, lend money.
Yes, yes, they're
It's
quite
quite
hard.
hard, opo. So it has to have an insurance so that the bank will lend you money.
And because if you are dealing with an agent, they are obliged to tell the truth, right? Whether
Yeah,
there's consent or not. But if they
yeah.
go direct to the seller, what would be the liability of the seller
And
if
that's
they
the
won't?
hard thing. So this is what's hard at it. Like let's say there are houses that are privately for sale. So say
Mm-hmm.
you sell your house privately, and then there are people that goes to your house. It will be actually up to you if you don't want to, like disclose. But at the
Oh,
end of the day, it is ethically you'll have to disclose all any known defects about your property. So if you don't, if the buyer comes back, let's just say, because I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it has changed, but I'm pretty sure up to 5 years, a buyer can get compensation if you did something wrong during the process. So up to 5 years. So like let's say, ate, I bought your house,
mm-hmm.
and then what happens is that I bought it privately off you. You didn't give me any other, let's just say a deck is not consented. And because I don't know anything, I put it on sales and purchase agreement. I went with my lawyer not knowing everything as well, because of course it's a private sale. Then we purchase it, the sale goes unconditional, we settled, and I ended up wanting to sell it because I'm like, oh, I can't afford it anymore. And
Mm.
maybe the more yun po, 'di ba, parang, and then what happens is that I'm gonna go get an appraisal. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk to an agent and appraise my property. The agent will then ask me, is the deck consented? And I'm like, Oh, okay. Well, I'm not. I'm
I,
pretty sure it is because when I purchased it, the vendor didn't say, and that's like maybe
mm,
let's just say 2 years from the time that we bought it from you.
yeah.
And then I'm gonna get a property file. So I'll order a property file, and then the property file doesn't show that there's a deck
Mm,
consented in the property. So now I can still try to come back to you, because of
mm,
course I have your details po and everything, and I can get compensation out of that. So if you don't want to cooperate, then we can bring it to the tribunal, and
ah,
then get something out. Yeah.
oh my goodness. So it's really
And that's
best to
within
just
the 5 years.
so after 5 years, because you've already enjoyed the deck,
Yeah,
so
yes.
you can't claim for what do you call that,
At
compensation
least
anymore.
the Yeah, so at least like let's just say I could go back to you and say, "Hey, Ate Juvie, I'm trying to sell the property and now it's gonna be costing me this much to either remove the deck upon settlement or prior to settlement, or have it, have it consented. Then this is the amount of having it consented. Then I might be
Uh,
able to go back to you and say how I'm, can you pay me this much?"
yeah, that so it's really best to just involve the experts, those who are knowledgeable on this, lawyers and agents. So I think
Yes.
because it's so tricky, so many technical terms. And we're talking about going back to insurance. This is the good thing with
Insurance.
insurance. If you're if you're struggling to pay your mortgage
Mm,
every week or fortnight because you lose your job, say for example, then the insurance, like the one that you've mentioned, the bill cover, you
mm.
can still get a pay and at least
Yeah.
pay mortgage,
House.
right? And if you don't have
Yes.
this, so we're not hoping for us to lose our job, but
Yeah.
just in
If
case what will
something
happen to
happens,
us
yeah. Just in case.
and to our family, to family members, especially if you have little kids.
Mm.
So yeah, insurance is really overrated here in New Zealand. Every now and then, like whatever you do, there's an insurance. Even your travel, the travel
Yeah.
insurance.
Yeah. I
Have you
think it's
availed this travel insurance?
yes, ate. I've never used it. Like it always like nothing
Yeah,
happens, which is good.
yeah,
But I cannot travel, especially if it's an international travel.
yes.
And I know that there's gonna be some in my luggage that I don't want to lose. And so I always travel that. But the very not just with the luggage, but the very important thing is that what if we get sick during the holiday or something, then at least you
Mhm.
can get something out of it. We didn't get, but at the end
Yeah,
of the day it's
but
only like $200 ate, diba,
oh,
for a
is it
full
just
month.
200?
Yeah.
Mm. Because the last time,
I always use the company I use is One Travel.
one travel.
Yeah.
I haven't that because last time, we went to the Philippines
Yeah.
and we booked our flight in early February, but then my husband
Mm-hmm.
didn't. He's not a believer of insurance. But for me, protection. So things change. We have to rebook. And that time I just decided, oops, you see, you cannot really tell what will happen because of the sudden death of my father that we have 6 months
Yeah.
ago.
Oh, sorry to
If
hear that.
only
Yes,
we have
ate.
that insurance, it could have been covered. We
Yes.
less expensive with all the
Yes.
changes that happened. But nevertheless, I took the insurance when after we rebooked our ticket. And for me, it's just like, who knows what will happen when we're there? Because we're going to
Mm.
be at a funeral anyway. We'll be traveling and processing many papers, and it's
Yes.
it's another expense. And I'm already out of money because of that incident, so I can't afford any other expenses, too much expenses again. And I paid 800 something for four of us.
Oh, for the insurance.
Travel insurance, 800. So I was like,
Oh.
okay, I'll just go for it. Southern
Yeah.
Cross. And it's good that you've mentioned about one travel. I'll look it
Yeah.
next time again. That's,
Because I always use that because when back when I was back when I was a sales manager at I was being sent by my company to train salespeople in Sydney and Melbourne. And I remember it was my sales manager in Australia who introduced me to that travel insurance. So I've been
Is that
using that ever since.
New Zealand base or Australian base?
New Zealand po.
Oh, one travel. I'll
One
take note of that.
travel.
Yeah, because we're
Yeah, I'm
planning to have
pretty
to travel.
yeah. It's we don't know, right? We'll never know ate what's gonna happen during our
Yeah,
stay. Especially like yours. Like if you would have had an insurance that time, you might be able to get a little bit of,
I
something
know.
back
It would
from
have
the
covered,
tickets.
I think, up to 2,000 for the changes. That's what I've
Yeah.
heard. At least, no, it has
Yeah, you
anyway.
get something a little bit.
But like what I've said, my husband is not a believer of it, so to take it from my own pocket.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of like Kuya. I'm the one who used to always tell Steven like, no, I'm just gonna go with this, like, and in the Philippines
Yeah.
it's cheaper anyway. Even if I get hospitalized, I always tell him, and he was
But you
like,
can,
no, what if like, what if your luggage gets lost or something? So it's not just about the
yeah,
hospitalization. So I'm like, oh,
yes.
true. So the last one that I had, he was the one who bought it, but I remember that when four of us traveled, we only paid around 400.
Oh, that's really cheap. I'll take note
Mm,
of that because we're planning to book
yeah.
it for our next travel. Right. Talking about travel, it's also very important to take insurance for those who are coming to New Zealand to visit because you never
Mm,
know. You
mm.
never know. We've heard of people, visitors na nagkasakit. They're just visitors
Yes.
covered by the health system of New Zealand, right?
New Zealand. And it's really expensive. I remember that
Mhm.
ate because when I was a student in here, they didn't know that I have insurance as a student. So I got bitten by, so this is what happened ate. I got bitten by a bed bug. And I never
Yeah.
knew and I
Interesting.
never knew I'm allergic to bed bugs. So I
Oh,
got
perhaps.
like
Yeah.
really swollen up.
Oh,
And then I
really? Like
was
only the whole body or
Yes.
just the
Yes
oh,
po. I
that's
think
too
it's my
much.
whole body got like rushes, and then where it got bitten, like my hand got double the size. It's like para
Wow.
ko nakaguantes. Yes. So I got
Oh,
bitten by a bed bug. And then I was rushed to Auckland Hospital because during that time I was staying in the city. I was a student. And
yes.
then I remember I don't have money at it for a 5-minute consultation. It's $500.
Because
five
you're
minute consultation because they were saying I'm international. And
yeah.
then I wasn't opo, and I wasn't able to I wasn't able, actually I had to pay for that at a little by little. I had to pay like a credit control because I remember it wasn't covered by the student insurance that we have. So I
Oh,
don't know why. And during that time, I don't really know the policies here in New Zealand. I was new. Like really, I was like literally, I'm like 2-3 months in here in New Zealand. So I got bitten by that bed bug, and then
oh
it
my.
cost me $500 as a student, and I had to
So
pay for that.
when you enrolled and you came here as a student, that was already part of your fees, the insurance, or is it
Yes. So
okay? That
there was a part of the payment, the fees that I paid for my institute here, the insurance, but unfortunately, me being bitten by a bed bug, that wasn't covered by that
all
insurance.
right. So if you have a kind of a comprehensive, probably comprehensive
Yeah.
insurance. That could have been covered, right? And yeah,
Yes.
watch out, guys, because we have already invited an insurance broker who's really an expert on this, and he promised to be with us one Wednesday. So next week we're gonna have the A
Yay.
mortgage broker so that you can ask questions directly to the person who is connected to ANZ if you're
Mm,
with ANZ. And even if you're not, feel free to ask so that, who knows,
mm.
you might move your banking with ANZ if you think that's more reliable or more
Comfortable for them.
or better for
Mm,
them
mm.
to have a mortgage with. And just stay tuned with us every Wednesday because we have different experts and specialists that will
Yeah.
be with us, and it's gonna enlighten us with so many things. And we're gonna have a lot of recaps so that we are more confident in whatever steps we're going to make, especially when buying our first home. Right. There you go.
Yay.
To add about this insurance, yeah. Sa car insurance, oh, nako, ang dami ko na rin na-claim.
Oh yeah,
I
car
am with
insurance.
AA. AA. What about you? Are you with AA?
I claimed once because was also when I was new. I just bought my car I just bought my car and then I went at this Mission Bay and I thought I'm like that should be a safe place, right? Because it's Mission Bay.
Yes.
And then came back to a broken glass or like my window. I
Oh,
parked in a really good parking at in Mission Bay. I don't know how, but that was
my God.
before Christmas. You know how people are crazy during before
They were
Christmas.
drunk probably or just,
Yeah.
hear me.
And then because we've left a backpack at the back of my back seat. And
Yes.
so it's not tinted enough. So of course they would have seen that, or maybe something is in the backpack. So broke
Something.
it, gone, open, and then
So
came
the
back to
backpack
a
was
broken
taken.
glass pot.
The backpack was taken.
Yes, it was taken, but
Oh, that
it
was the
doesn't have much, it doesn't have much anything in it. So, but
yeah.
then at least I can claim for, fixing my car.
So what about the backpack? If in case there would be valuables in it, I think you can claim for the content
Yes.
insurance if you have
Yes.
content insurance. That's right.
Yes.
So
So
how
they
much did you
asked
pay?
me,
Yeah,
po,
carry on.
they
How
asked me
much
at
did
if there's something on the bag.
yeah, ba, wala naman. So, you know,
Up.
even if it's not valuable, but if it's in a bag, some crazy
Mm,
people will say that, there's gold there or diamond, and we'll
yeah.
have to check. I mean, you won't probably care, but then breaking your glass window is a
Yeah.
hassle. Yeah.
It's a
So then,
hassle because I have to take off work. So you pretty much you've lost one day of pay.
oh
Po,
yeah.
because during that time I have to bring the car there. Yeah, so it's kind of like a hassle, but at the end of the day, at least it's covered by the insurance. And the thing is, like a lot of Filipinos, because us in the Philippines, we don't really use insurance much. So that's why when we come here, we thought that it's okay to not have insurance.
Yeah, but it's really a little bit hassle free if you are insured. At least your
Mm.
stuff are insured. Now, when we're talking about claiming insurance, I know you pay something a little bit. Depends on
Mm.
what do you call that one? It's like
Which
there's,
insurance?
there's a term for that. That before you can claim this amount, you have to give something. You have to pay
Like
something.
an admin fee or something? Or no?
No, no, no. Every time you claim, you gotta, unless you pay much that you don't have. Oh, I forgot the technical
Yeah,
term. You know, when
I do not. I haven't claimed the insurance for a long time now.
with my phone, we've got like the 300 amount that we have to pay when we claim for an insurance. So,
Is it an
uh,
excess or no?
yes, yes, that's right. The excess. Oh my goodness. Trying to remember those technical terms. Yeah, you gotta pay the excess unless you pay much that you don't want to pay for any excess every time you claim
Mm.
for yeah, anytime you make a claim. So how much did you pay for the excess for
I
the
think I
car?
only paid $200 at it, but the worth
Wow,
of
ang baba na na.
Oppo
Oh,
for
this lang.
for excess Oppo. But then now it's my husband who pays for my insurance, so I don't know how much he pays. Like
for,
also,
for our one for our car, I think our excess is 500, so that's quite much as well. The same as with our contents. So yeah, every time we make a claim, I know it will affect our records if we often make a claim. And so we try our best to look after our stuff, right? Because you don't want to intentionally make any damage and claim for an insurance because they will find it out.
yes.
And of course,
What's your insurance provider, Ate? Who's your insurance provider for car?
for the car, it's AA. So previously we moved everything to A and Z, and then I've realized they are a bit costly, and then we
Mm.
moved back to AA.
Yeah.
The pros and cons. I'm happy with the fees that I'm paying with AA, but sometimes when you make claims, it's so hard. Like the recent claims that I'm making, in the process, and it's almost taking a year because I
Oh,
paid
really?
May or June when I bought my car, and somebody scratched it because he doesn't know how to back his car,
Uh,
make a back, and he scratched it, and it was due for make it shiny or something. So I have to rush to have it fixed, and I
yeah.
filed claim through insurance. I made a report to the police, and long process, and I hate it.
Mm,
Up to now, I've
yeah.
hoping that that third party will pay me back, but up to now, we couldn't get hold of him. So yeah,
So
500 is
I think ate like that is also the importance of having a financial advisor at as your team, you know, like if you're a good person, if you're an individual who's into, like, let's say, of course, taking care of your managing your, you know, your financial area of your life as well. So financial advisors, majority of the times, they can also give you an advice which insurance. There are financial advisors who handles insurance as well. Yeah, because
ah,
my generate ate, my Kiwi saver,
mhm.
who the one that moved in Australia, he's actually a financial advisor, and he gives me ideas of which insurance to use. So like he was really good po. So I think it's also good having those advisors in, you know,
Well,
at
look
your
at that.
side. Yeah, so maybe you can ask your, because I remember, I'm pretty sure Sanjeev. So Sanjeev may be a financial advisor and a broker, but New Zealand loan market has an insurance side of the business. So they
Ah,
kind of have work hand in hand ate. So
we can
yeah,
invite Sanjay to talk more.
yeah, yeah,
I'm really
yeah.
into that. I can manage everything now. Like
Yeah,
the
and that's the reason
financial.
it was unfortunate at it, because I've mentioned to you as well. Like me, I'm from Ray White AT Realty, Manukau, and we provide as well having an insurance in our in house in the office. But unfortunately, she can't. I've not seen her like after the holidays, and so I was wanting to invite her, but that would have been good because then at least they can give us advice,
Yeah.
the difference of it, different insurance that we
Yes.
can claim, we can get. Yeah.
Next Wednesday, because we've got a series of discussion anyway. So yeah, hopefully you can keep in touch. You can get in touch with them,
Invite.
and then
Yes.
right, right there you go,
Okay.
kababayan. To our viewers, we've chit chatted with so many things about insurance already: life insurance, car insurance, home and loan, now home and content insurance, and even medical insurance. So,
Oh yes.
for more, at least you have an idea that these things are very beneficial for you if you have it set up. It doesn't have to be costly. You just need to shop around and keep in touch or stay tuned every Wednesday at 7:05 because we will have different expertise and even uh, different people with experiences on these aspects to share their journey and their experiences with us so that we are all educated. There you
Yeah.
go.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh,
I think ate may pahabol pala ako. So
oh yes.
of course, yes, of course, I've been contacted with some of our kababayans that are watching our live, which is very very thankful of that. Asking my advices, and then if they're, and also from the kabayans in Manurewa, because I posted that video as well. So just making sure that everyone has an idea as well. So this is why would you buy now? So buy a house right now, because this is the perfect time at the moment. We I can tell you right now that at the moment, this is the lowest of the market that it can get, and it's not gonna go any. It's not showing anything that everything's
Yeah.
gonna go lower.
Hey,
Yeah.
I've just heard from agent, that I'm working with as well. You know them anyway. They've said that there's not much in the market at the moment, so that's
Mm.
why what do you call this? It's stable at the moment, but
Yeah.
they are foreseeing that in few months' time, maybe mid of the year, there will
Mm-hmm.
be more houses, but there will be more buyers as well that will be coming.
Yeah.
What's your
So
thought?
there's gonna be. This is what I can tell you right now, Ate, is that like, why buy now? This is the lowest of the market. There's not any data that's going to show that all the values are going to go down anytime soon. So if you are ready, if you have savings, if you have something for the deposit or something, or if you feel like you're in, in the edge and you can buy, either contact me and get an advice, get a guideline of what you can actually do for your first step. But at the, like what your agent has mentioned as well, so it is stable. It's not going down, it's not going high. One of my potential vendor has texted me during Sunday and asked me, oh, I've heard that the prices are going up. It is true and not true. So it is true on certain types of properties, because like
Mm.
there are houses at it that there are houses, like what I can assure you is that we just finished during the time that I was having I'm having COVID. On Wednesday last week we had the day, which is we had the biggest auction, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
are really really successful at it. On Wednesday we sold 63% clearance rate, so it means that we've actually sold more than 30 properties, more than 20 properties, so it's 28 properties we've sold in one day. And that's the thing. So there are houses, if you were watching that, there are houses that sold way above the CV. My colleague, very very good colleague, and he's one of our top agents, Jay Singh and Jace, have sold 300,000 above the CV, and that is
Wow.
because of the property. So it is a property that is people would want to spend money with because it's got the potential. So it means like it's a lifestyle property. So it's got
Mm.
8,000 square meter land area. So
Yeah.
that goes above, the expectations. But then there are houses that, of course, the vendor should be realistic. So like let's say we've had houses around Manorewa which has 600 square meter land, but because it's a do-up, then of course it's gonna sell like maybe around the 700. So that's quite the
Mm.
realistic price,
Yeah.
even though the CV is showing 1 million. So at the end of
Mm.
the day, it's this is the reason why I'm telling our kababayans that if you're thinking of buying and you have the gut feel that hey, maybe we can afford it, there are so many houses at the moment that is quite realistic and they can afford it, and it's never gonna go below than that. So like let's say
Mm.
yours at would be realistic is what you were expecting, but maybe there are people that are not willing to spend that much for a cross lease
Yeah.
property. Yeah. So, but during the hot market, you would have been able to sell it, like what Jai did, like what
Yeah.
she mentioned to us, right? So
What?
it is. So this is the perfect time to buy for buyers, but sellers. The reason why it's still better to sell it because there are still so many buyers. Ate, on Wednesday we have 300 registered bidders.
Oh, wow.
We have
So
so
you
much
have
buyers
market
that registered on our auction. So
options.
if we yeah, if you were one of the properties, you might have, because we have one bidder there that bid for 20 properties. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so
Yeah.
he lost on one property, he went to the next property, he lost on the
Yeah.
second property, he went to the next property. And that's the reason why it's quite good to be joining. So like if you're selling, join a big auction day like that, so that at least you're putting your property in in the front of all these bidders. So we have 300 overflow of buyers, and right now we're trying to actually find them houses. And that's the thing. So the thing is, what your agent mentioned at the earlier is that in May, the reason why it's going to get busy in the middle of this year is that the bright line will take effect on, I think it's March. Yeah, so
Yes.
something,
Yes. That.
the bright
Because
line. So
that's another
ano
thing
po?
to discuss. Yeah.
Yes. So if you are thinking that okay, Marian, maybe I'm not ready yet to buy, I may have maybe a couple of months more for me to be able to use my Kiwi Saver. Wait for it as well. There's gonna be a lot more choices. So for vendors, it may be not really good, good news kasi magkakaroon ka ng mas sobrang daming competition. Because once the
Mm.
bright line takes effect, all these investors will put their investment property on the market. So then you'll be covered by all these property on the market. And so it's still the best time to sell it because you're buying and selling at the same market. So that's really good. So I think at the end of the day, if you're selling your house at a certain price, you can still buy a house at a lower price. So if you're buying a 5 bedroom house, which is on a hot market, ate, a 5 bedroom house will cost you 1.8 million. But right now
Wow.
you can buy a, yeah, but now you can buy a 5 bedroom house for 1.2, 1.3.
Yeah, yeah. But at that time, yeah, it's gonna go up then. I know.
Mm.
There you go, guys. You've heard it from a real estate agent, and I've been talking to different real estate agents, many
People.
different
Yeah.
real estate agents as well. That's why I'm feeding Marianne about these ideas as well, just
Yeah.
getting some information whether that's really true or not. Uh,
Mm.
I really hope our discussions for the past 16 weeks, because we are now on our 16th episode,
Yeah.
could already enlighten you about the home buying. But if it's not, feel free to contact Marianne. She's the go-to person. Anyway, it's free. Right. There you go. We've talked so much again. What else? Is there anything else you want to say to our viewers?
Yeah, I think I think ate, this is quite good because we're offering a free, kind of like sharing our own experiences, and it's not just about haka-haka, 'di ba? Parang hindi lang sa pagkakarinig ko ganito, but because of real life experiences that we're, experiencing, and then that's what we're sharing. And at the end of the day, having you as who have experience buying a property and tried selling,
Yeah.
you are the
Trying to
best person to talk
sell.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then me as well. So yeah,
So if there's anyone there interested of buying a house, if you're looking at 3 bedroom house, if you want to have a look at my house, come and contact me if you want to. Just a chat. Just have a look at the house. No pressure. Who knows? You might fall in love with the property, and if you're
yeah.
willing to buy, and we can have a deal, that would be great. And
Mm.
I have another podcast, by the way, tomorrow with teachers. So join me because that teacher is actually having a business. She's establishing, anong tawag dito? Yung parang agent ka of teachers. Kind of business is that?
Is
She's
it
help.
Oh no, not recruitment, eh?
Kind
Not
of, parang
really.
connection, bridging the gap. So
Ah,
she's helping teachers from the Philippines or wherever in the world come to New Zealand if they want to. So that's the business she's into, and I'm going to have a podcast with her tomorrow night. So join me at 8 p.m. Sorry, New Zealand time. Oh, my head is already filled with so much things. Plus, school is already going, so I've got many
oh, that's
other.
gonna be useful to my cousins, ate. I have so much teacher cousins in the Philippines.
Oh yeah, tell them to watch the podcast
Watch,
tomorrow
yes.
and ask questions because this person is really the person, the one who's helping out.
Yeah.
Telling you
If
what to
you
do.
have
What
if you have the link at the earlier, then just send it to me and then I can send it to all my cousins.
okay, I don't know how to make the link, but
So you know how
yes,
yeah, like
share with you the
yeah,
ones that I. Yeah, yeah,
advanced,
okay,
yes,
cool.
advanced
I'll
link.
look it up.
Just send it to me and then I'll send it to all of them.
Yeah, so those who are watching, watch out tomorrow. And thank you so much, you guys, for joining us today, for listening, and for learning. Keep growing yourself. And we'll see you again next Wednesday with an A and Z mortgage broker.
Bye.
Akite.
Thank you.